Oh, that is so not correct. Greetings, everyone, as I fix the thing because I was having internet issues and had to restart things, and apparently it messed a lot more stuff up than I was thinking. Yay!
Oh, the camera's not in the right place?
Well, no, it's because I had to close out Roll20 chat when I reset Roll20, and so it was focused on the actual Roll20 window rather than the Roll20 chat window, and I had to change that back.
Got it.
Oh.
So it was hilarious bits of our weird sword picture for a little bit. Uh-huh.
Hell yeah. Big sharp sword with a dawn pommel.
Anyway, yeah, welcome to Legacies of Caine. It's Vampire the Masquerade, if you're unfamiliar with that's what we're playing here. It's been a long adventure, a lot of crazy things have happened, but if you're popping in just now and joining us, hey, you can easily catch up, just know that, no, Windows 10, it's evil. Or at some point soon. I deny you, Lightning. What was I gonna say, big thing is, they've gone through a lot of adventures. They gathered together 3 chalices during those course of those adventures, and they're effectively now learning what to do with them, and that includes meeting with a lot of people around the world to help one person out. Like, one person's like, hey, I got a bunch of people I want to meet with for important reasons. Go meet with them and tell them I'm going to meet with them. I think that's the easiest way to describe it. And so now they found their way through the kuei-jin in Japan to the kuei-jin within Korea. And it has been a thing. You find yourselves in Seoul, I believe is where we left off.
Yep. Just about to have our meeting with Son Pyong-cho.
Yes.
Yeah.
His name is somewhere on my notes here. I know it because I wrote them down. But now I have to find out where I put them on my notes because my notes are not organized. Whatever, I'll go for your notes here, or something. It's in Discord chat, somewhere. There's a lot of successes and rolls. I just like... Oh, there it is. Son Pyong-choi. There we go. Post again for people to...
Yes.
Right here. At the bottom. So if I go away from it, it's right there. So, yes, you're about to have your meeting with him, and hopefully get in with the Green Court and meet with the Nagaraja today.
Oh, please, God, yes.
So, he arranged for you to go from the train station that you kind of snuck in through, to a, Did I tell you where I wanted him to meet with you, or?
No.
Nope.
Okay. He'll give you an address within the town that seems to be of a, like a Korean temple here. I'm not as good at the Korean religion, so I'm gonna, probably butcher it, but I'm assuming it's...
Okay.
Probably slightly culturally insensitive to me, but I didn't even know Koreans had their own religion. I thought they were...
at least Buddhism. Buddhism's all over the area.
It's like Buddhism.
Yeah, well, Buddhism is all over the area, but they might have their own unique one, and I'm unsure of it. I think they do. It's the problem that I'm not as familiar with Korean culture. I know a little bit, but not nearly as much as Japanese culture, because I took classes on that.
And also anime.
And also anime helps a lot, too. Mm-hmm. So
Christianity and Buddhism are the prominent religions in Korea. Although the majority are irreligious.
Yes. Sure, you're going to... I'm going to spell this in chat and then try to butcher it. Jogyesa? It's, leading Buddhist-y place there. Probably in Seoul. We just look at this map here. As I attempt to butcher language, because, again, it's... Yep, in Seoul. It'll be a little bit of a trick to get there, since it is northern Seoul, and you were kind of, like, southeastern side. But you'll be able to, like, kind of, like, overnight, you know, sneak across the city to get there, we'll say. You'll, you know, do.
I'm a sneaky vampire.
Sneaky
Into your
vampire.
temple.
We'll hear the ding, 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 ding of people walking on their tiptoes.
Yeah. And it's gonna be like the Looney Tunes music. The dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Okay, maybe Metal Gear Solid. Anyway, you will eventually
I can
arrive.
just turn into a bat and avoid all suspicion.
Mm-hmm. Look, you have to activate the cloaking device. A giant box forms around you.
Just put an anime side of it too. It distracts all the guards.
Mm-hmm. So, arriving at the temple, very close to the entrance, you will see a man dressed in a very fine, like, kind of like business suit, Korean man, kind of standing there. Are you the Westerners who've been getting in contact with me? Dawn?
Hi.
Great. Answer your goddamn phone.
Oh no. Wait, what? Did I miss messages?
No, you sent it to someone else. It was quite rude.
Yeah, no, I'm not very good at keeping this thing charged.
And
Can't
ironically,
be
he is the youngest among us.
Anyway, so, what the hell are you doing in my country, and what the hell do you want?
Dawn just looks at Nathan like.
Looks at everyone. Looks at Nathan.
Oh, I'm looking at Dawn.
I'm looking at Dawn
Okay.
as well.
Yeah, this is your
And
contact.
John and I look at Nathan.
Who's Ryan looking at?
Ryan's like, dum-de-dum-de-dum, this place is nice. I should have brought a
Yeah,
camera.
Ryan's just looking around.
Oh, I should have brought a camera. There's some nice
Don't
touristy
I-
stuff.
Dawn, I believe he's known to you as well. Or known to you rather than to me.
Oh, crap.
Apparently I've talked to both of you, though.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't suck.
So I've been told.
Yeah.
We are passing a message along to the Nagaraja. And it can be very difficult to get in touch with them.
That's true. Most of your kind has hunted them. But, as much as they are strange creatures and kind of not normally allowed into such area, the fact is that they have gained the protection of the Green Court.
Of course. Well, we're obviously not looking to hunt them. We want to pass along a verbal message.
Would it be enough just to deliver the message, or to talk to them directly?
I believe we are meant to ensure ourselves that the message reaches them.
Then how about
Yes.
this? I can contact them and see if they'd be willing to see your message. If they are willing to see this message, then you must appear before members of the court and present your case to them. Normally, that sort of thing is not traditionally allowed, but if they would be willing to break the effective seal on them, their hidden nature for you, it would be more than just them allowing it.
Perhaps you could inform them that their family is the one we are passing the message along for.
Another the kind?
Indeed.
Not actually.
Of their ancestors.
As far as Leslie knows.
Ah. Alright. I'll let them know that there's another that has a message for them. Find a place to stay. I'll probably contact you later on, either tonight or tomorrow evening.
We thank you for your assistance.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna leave. Looking slightly perturbed still.
Fair.
You did great, Nathan.
What do you want to do now?
Leslie side-eyeing Dawn.
It's probably, like, pretty close to sun up. You're in the middle of a city during a lockdown where the hotels are probably not open.
So what you're saying is dawn is coming, and we're in trouble.
I might have been saying that in not so many of those words. Man, internet's been sucky today. I've been dropping frames for both games. Like, I just dropped a bunch.
Oh. Better pick them back up again.
Shove them into the computer. Come back
There
here,
you go.
frames.
More
That'll
concerned
work.
about what Dawn is up to in the middle of a city.
So, let's see. What sort of temple is this?
Buddhist. It's a chief temple of the Jogi Order of Korean Buddhism since 1963. It's a building. It's not a very large building. Got some nice grounds. Got some nice Buddhist statues.
Not
Could-
really a lot of place to hide there, then.
Nope.
I mean, they might just let us stay.
I believe the concern is more the sun.
Yeah.
Could chill in the sewers.
Sewers is always back up.
True. Let's see. If this is indeed locked down completely, then we might be able to find a building that has empty space in it.
That you might.
What day of the week is it?
Oh! Thursday? We'll say Thursday.
So it's Thursday morning,
Mm-hmm.
about to be Thursday day.
Yeah.
Just want to say, roll 20, you can roll odd dice like a d7.
Oh.
How aggressive was
Um,
Rio with
Emil-
its lockdown?
There's stuff showing
Would
up
you
in
be-
the old twin chat for you guys.
We see Jogessa, or Jogessa,
That's the last thing.
or
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just want to make sure everything's working right. You know, just after the issues a little earlier. Okay.
Emil, would you be able to find somewhere in the area where we might be able, which is doing their business from home?
Like an unoccupied office building?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. I would suggest something like a call center or some sort of computer thing. I imagine that's the kind of thing they could do from home much easier than others. Or perhaps a salon, which is empty.
Oh, I could do everyone's nails.
Salons tend to have big windows.
Our Nosferatu friend still is not with us. Do we have the technical know-how to prevent any alarms going off?
Emil is second fiddle. I mean,
I'm
he can do
I'm not
hacking.
as great at the security larceny type thing as I am at hacking, but I do have points in it.
Look,
I imagine you might be able to find something that's...
Emil split between murder and hacking, unlike Samuel, who was just pure hacking. You know, so Emil can do a decent job at it. Also murder.
Okay.
Yep.
And do
I imagine you
break
might
it
be
in?
able to find somewhere a little bit smaller that doesn't have the resources for a complete security system.
Yes. I will do some research into potentially a tech company nearby who... I mean, I don't think I could find out exactly if they're... I'm just gonna assume they're in lockdown because I don't think it'd say anywhere.
All right, then. Roll me a. I'm gonna say it's an intelligence investigation. Though you're using the computer, It's investigation. Did you have bonuses to using a computer or something? What were your bonuses?
To compute any. So I have. So it's to computer checks, so checks using the computer skills. So I get a -2 difficulty. So I wouldn't in this case.
Apply it because you are using the computer. Apply it because you're using the computer.
Okay. I mean, technically it's supposed to be the computer skill, but I'll take it. I'm not gonna.
Special case because you're specifically like, I feel like it's more than just searching the internet. It's also like you're investigating the various buildings, but you are still using the computer.
Difficulty. What base difficulty?
I would say the base difficulty would have been 7 for this one for finding something possible. Because again, it's not you're just looking for candidates. You're not really like you weren't trying to find out exact details. So it'd be 5 for you.
Because that'd probably be impossible to do.
Not impossible, just difficult. Okay, 3 successes.
Cool.
There's a number of companies nearby which you think would qualify. A couple places that have like call centers, areas that are probably shut down, things like that. Definitely like non-essential services. So yeah, you can find a couple of places that seem like might work. Not too far away either.
Okay.
You're gonna go for one of them?
Yeah. I mean...
Right. Well, you're at the building then. It's seemingly locked up tight.
I checked for one of those security signs on like the windows.
I'm gonna say they don't have
like,
one
say
up.
what...
Okay.
You want some help picking that lock?
It doesn't mean they don't have security, they just don't have one of those signs up.
Yeah. Well, I'm not as great at the lock-picking side, so you can do that. And if we trip any alarms, I'll take care of that.
Okay. It's security now, isn't it?
No, it's... larceny is what it is.
Did they switch? They switched?
But it's the same.
Security.
It's the same one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of just switched it and sort of split things around.
What they did is they added they broke up security into technology and larceny. So now it's larceny for more physical stuff and like lock pickings, pickpocketing, etc. Technology is more physical stuff, and then computers is software.
And I don't see Dawn having a lot of technology. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, no.
And that's why I'm gonna step into technology if it's if we trip an alarm, because I'm gonna need to disable that.
Would it be Dex?
Yeah, Dex.
Okay, I like that. I get my +3.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. You'll manage to pick open the door. You think you can get inside now?
Dolna's immediately gonna just try and open it and see if anything beeps at her.
Nothing's beeping. No noises.
Okay, I'm gonna scan the walls nearby for a silent alarm.
Give me perception technology, then we'll say.
Side note,
Okay.
keep in mind, the security skill that's on our sheet doesn't actually exist. That's just gone. It is
Yes.
just larceny.
Yeah, they
I
replaced it with larceny.
Because technically
Yeah,
the sheet
it got
I'm
split
using,
into
I like a
larceny
little
and-
better, but it's also like, I think technically a revised edition sheet rather than a V20 sheet.
It's not V20, it's revised, yeah.
Yeah. So they
We're using V20. So basically they got rid of... Basically what they did is they took security, broke it up into technology and larceny, and got rid of linguistics, put technology where linguistics used to be.
and then they made it like
Anyway.
weird for you to learn languages or something.
Yeah. Anyway. Right, so you said perception technology, and
Yes.
technology is other one.
I mean, if you're using the sheet, it's gonna be in the linguistics place of it, I guess, or in the
No,
other...
I put it in the other traits section.
Yeah, other traits is a pretty good place to put it.
Difficulty what?
I'm gonna say, because you're looking for signs of a silent alarm in an area that may or may not have it is the problem. I'm gonna say like difficulty 8.
Okay. Ouch.
You don't see any signs of any silent alarm. You can't notice any. Nothing that screams at you that the door was alarmed.
I almost got it straight. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7.
Actually, one moment.
Mm-hmm. Is Leslie checking around for some stuff too?
Oh, I forgot I have push to talk on. As long as I'm not mixing up my vampire versions, electronic security systems in general can't detect me, right?
Anything that has cameras, you can't have a picture taken of you. It's the same like you don't have a reflection in a mirror.
Okay, so the expanded one is from the different edition.
Yes, I think if you were to look like...
Because I know one of the editions is like electronic systems in general have trouble difficulty.
Yeah.
Or have in general have difficulty with the Sombra.
Yes. Cast no reflections, cannot be seen in mirrors, bodies of water, reflective windows, polished metals, photographs, and security cameras. This curious anomaly even extends to the clothes you wear and objects you carry, which is kind of just weird.
Yeah.
But again, like
It's
also
just it's the concept of the person doesn't appear in reflections. Is the
I
idea.
mean, you also burn so much better in sunlight.
Yeah,
so
I take bonus damage from sunlight. Which means I really want to get out of this place before, dawn actually hits.
And Dawn hits hard.
I was about to say, and then Dawn whacks him in the arm. But...
Yup.
Can I do a check for any systems, and does my spycraft have any impact on it?
I mean, if you do you have a specific like spycraft skill?
No, just background.
I'll give you that you could make a perception investigation. It'll be difficulty 9 for you to do that, but because of your spycraft, you can attempt it.
Okay.
Because you got some knowledge of it. It's just because it's like you aren't necessarily familiar completely with modern security systems and how they'd be laid out. It's more that you know, like,
Yeah,
a little
I'm
bit
thinking
of
mostly, like knowing how to look for hidden security devices.
Yes. So you can attempt it.
No luck.
No, you take a look around yourself too, like just in case something was well hidden. You don't notice yourself. You guys are effectively in some kind of small lobby area right now of the building. We'll say it's probably like a 8-story building, and you kind of did you go in through the front door or back door? I'm just gonna ask.
Wherever there weren't any obvious cameras. Probably.
There's probably like a back alley door that you're getting into, and if you're getting into the back alley door, you're in like a small hallway that seems to lead into like a number of like little like offices area, and there's another kind of like set of double doors which might lead out towards the main lobby and the elevators.
Yeah, and an employee entrance would be better because that's probably where a security system would be anyway. So.
Mm-hmm. One of these rooms might be the security office, which would be easier to see if there was something there, but you don't know how much it's powered up or anything, or if everything is just automated at this point in time. A lot of points.
I mean, not noticing any like hidden security devices. Leslie will scout ahead since cameras can't see him and look for a security office.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And also place the...
Give me perception alertness, because awareness is the one that's spiritual, right? Did I get it right?
Yeah, awareness is physical. Alertness. Wait, no.
Alertness is the only one we have on the
awareness.
One doesn't.
Yeah, and that the one we have on the sheet is the one that's physical.
Okay. And there is there's
So-
an actual like awareness or something too that's not on the sheet. Anyway, okay. As you're going
I
along,
might be the only person who
you
has gotten
hear
awareness.
some noise up ahead.
I'm gonna stealth up and see what it is.
A door seems to be opening.
Also gonna play with the shadows and hide myself more efficiently.
Okay.
Bat. I bat myself. Go and
Oh,
do
I'm,
it.
I'm I'm up ahead away from people. I'm scouting away.
Oh, I mean, I assumed I was up in kind of the midst of things looking for a security terminal, so
Mhm.
because I had to go in too. So
All right. But yeah, I'm gonna spend a point of blood, play with shadows, hide myself more efficiently.
you
You
don't
have
say anything.
Ye
That should probably
alam
roll as well, right?
ul some kind of word I cannot for the life of me pronounce because it is incredibly complex. Oh my god. Why
I'm
am I
not
even
gonna pick up any of it, so don't even worry about it.
There's someone saying something in Korean. I was going to attempt it, but this is just like this is
Just
worse
say
than the
subtitles
Egyptian.
in Korean.
Subtitles in Korean. Some of this is like it's like Iosunida. Okay, right, whatever.
Enhanced hearing. Can I see if there's anyone else or just him?
Nanyun ogos ul huag igasoida goista. Sorry, Korean people. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really bad at your language. Like for languages I've translated here, I am so bad at this one in comparison to so many others. Anyway, this has been my worst. Sure. You don't notice anybody else. As far as you know, it just seems to be the one guy. He's exiting a room with a flashlight, and seems to be turning towards where the door that opened with you guys was. He seems to be on a phone.
All right. I'm gonna give me. Probably don't want to.
Men elu daibi haesio chalun bonai ha nida.
I'm just going to use enhanced abilities to keep everyone out of his path.
I mean, like, it's a single hallway in the back here. No, actually,
Wait,
there's probably,
just
like,
one massive hallway still?
it's a long hallway that seems to go across the building with a secondary hallway across from the double doors. He's coming from, like, straight across from you guys, like, but on the other side of the building.
And one hallway, no, like, turns or anything?
There's one single turn off to the side. Again, like, this is an office building, but it isn't a huge office building, you know, that you're in. So, it's probably, like, maybe only, like... maybe at most 100 feet wide, you know? So, you know, people on the other end of the hall near the door will notice a flashlight is coming out of a door at the end of the hall, you know?
Okay,
So it's like a long hall, and in the middle there's the double doors that probably lead off to the elevators and main hall, and then there's a secondary hall that goes off from there. So it's like a T-shaped hall with a double doors that leads off of it in the top of the T. Yeah, that's the easy way. So it's like T and double doors right up here.
So is there a door near me?
Sure, there are doors all around. There's doors in this hallway. That's
If
for
he
sure.
walks to where my door is, will he see the others already?
Like, if he starts walking towards you, he'll probably notice something weird because there's a horrible dark shadows which his light cannot pass through.
Oh no, I mean, like, if I dip into this door that I'm in, by the time he reaches my door, will he see the others?
He seems to be keeping the flashlight generally down towards the floor to see what's going on because there's no really, like, lights in the thing. But if he looks up towards it, the door is also open. Or did you guys close the door behind you?
I would assume.
So question: Did I hear or see this guy?
You're all noticing him now. I mean, I guess you were a bat and kind of hovering above the area.
I said, well, I would have turned if I saw him or heard him. I would have turned into a bat.
But yeah. You guys could see there's a door opening at the other end of the hallway. You know, so it is like a distance away. It's probably like 80 feet away from you guys. You know, it's a good distance, but there's a door opening, a flashlight. You can see it like in the distance because it's a relatively dark hallway that the most light that seems to be coming out of it is from the open door behind you.
Yep.
There does seem to be some like light in the room behind him, but he's probably leaving like, you know, I mean, you can guess probably it's like the security guard that's left in the building to watch it, kind of thing.
Does dominate require them to understand my language?
Good question. I don't know, actually. Let's find out. That's a really good question.
That's what I was looking at.
That is animalism. That is not dominate. That's auspex. That's not dominate.
Commands must be issued verbally. Subject won't comply if he can't understand the vampire, no matter how powerful you are.
Okay, there you go.
Oh.
And you do not know if he speaks English at all.
I guess we gotta beat him up.
I could roll to see if he speaks English, because there's a percentage of the population that does, just in most foreign countries. It's just
That's
you
still
get
right.
Mesmerize also requires verbal.
I assume I would know that my power would require him to understand me.
Yes.
That's what you tell him?
I just stroll up to him.
Ah!
Then we hope he dies from shock.
I mean, if we want to do that, I can really easily scare him to death, but...
Only if you make the noise.
Okay, I'm gonna peek into some of the rooms near us really quickly, see if I can find, like...
Well, you're about halfway away from the team, because you were walking down the hall. There's
Yeah, I
probably, like, very close to you, what looks to be, like... There's, like, a break room next to you. Probably for, like, janitorial staff and stuff like that.
How large is the break room and does it have desks?
It's got, like, a couple tables. It's pretty decent size. Probably, like, you know, at most could shove a dozen people in there around the tables.
Could it hide one Dawn-sized person?
I mean, the chances of Dawn getting to where you are with this break room are slim, because also, like, they'd have to race up and be quiet about racing up halfway through the hall while that person is turning your way. You don't have long. He does seem to be kind of, like, a little delayed. He's on the phone with someone, you know, talking to them.
Yeah. Because, like, Leslie knows that Nathan can just go out of existence. Emil can turn into animals, and apparently turned into a bat already. I can hide myself in shadows extremely easily.
Dawn punch!
Dawn, activate
does
robot
any-
punch!
Question. Actually, here's a question.
It's
Does
like,
anyone
why did
have
your arm
presence?
flow off? I got it in Japan. What?
Does anyone have presence?
Yep.
This presence doesn't require verbal.
Ah.
It does not, but... Uh...
I mean, number one, like those near the vampire suddenly desire to become closer to her and become respective of her point of view.
However, if he can't understand English, it won't help.
That's true.
Let's see here.
I mean, I can definitely try it. Or I could try Dread Gaze,
Yeah.
which would just stupefy him into madness, immobility, or reckless flight, but that would still
Yeah.
ruin our...
It's that phone that...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, right. He's on the phone right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Always
issue.
on the phone when I want to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dawn. No, bad Dawn.
He's gonna run up there and, like, tear off his head, like, ah! Ah!
And
Look,
humanity
she
check, please.
didn't break down the door. You know, she's showing restraint.
I mean, I guess because he can't bite things, I guess that's a good way of getting some blood. Just like, drinking him.
Yeah, you just chug it like a keg.
God.
Wait,
Don't know
wait.
the keg stand.
The person.
I have an
You-
idea.
You probably have enough potency that you could probably rip a guy's head off, is the thing.
Oh, how much
I have an idea.
I only have 2 potents.
That sounds dangerous.
That's-
What is it, Emil?
I just start fluttering around him as a bat.
Alright,
You get
give
claw.
me a... I mean, do you want to be an accurate bat or just be a bat?
Be an accurate bat, sure. I want to like act like a dumb bat who's
Well,
trapped inside.
I mean more like a bat that would be native Korea.
Yes. I actually am not sure.
I feel
how
like most
that-
people wouldn't recognize it, so you should be good either way.
I guess you should be probably fine just being
Unless
a
this
random
guy's
bat.
like, you know,
He studies
Obvious
bats in his spare
biologist.
time.
Yeah, well, maybe he has a hobby in
bat studies.
In bat studies.
He could.
Yeah. I've now looked up what
But-
the word for bat studies is. Bat researcher title.
A
That's-
batologist.
That would be a yeah.
Oh, game rules are
Chiropatologist.
repeated
There you go.
to change to other animal forms better suited to their environment. Jackals in Africa, dholes in Asia, even enormous rats in urban environments. Okay, so I can actually be a native bat.
Ooh.
Cool. Yeah, you could just turn into a bat, I guess, and harass him.
Yep.
You have to spend blood to make use of Celerity's enhanced speed, right?
Yes.
What does each point of Celerity get you for enhanced speed outside of combat?
It technically gives you
Each-
if we talk
Doesn't
about it in
each one
combat,
an
it
extra
gives you
turn?
like an extra turn. So it's effectively like you have to think about like you can move at that many times faster than a normal person. Like normally, if it's one extra action, you're really moving twice as normal speed. Granted, like Celerity 1 can oftentimes be passed off as someone that's just extra fast. You know, it's when you get to
How-
Celerity
only
3
thing-
and 4, it becomes oddly supernatural.
Are combat rounds the same here as they are in D&D? 6 seconds?
I thought they were more like 10.
They're like 3 to 10, they say, depending on what the hell's going on. Yeah, you know,
Well, like-
it varies. They don't really have the same kind of rounds. They just have
Okay.
things are happening in combat. What are you doing for a round? It is supposed to be
Okay.
quite fast, though.
I'm gonna burn blood to get back to where Dawn is and checking the doors near her while Emil's harassing this guy as a bat.
Okay, Emil, do you have to spend anything to become a bat?
I already did.
Okay. Well, you're a bat. I guess...
I did it back when I said I turned
Yeah.
into a bat.
I'm specifically looking for in any of these rooms like a desk that like you'd actually have to walk over to it.
Do
to
it,
look
Batshit!
underneath it.
Bagway! Bagway! He's yelling that as he's probably like shining the flashlight up a lot and like swiping in the air because there's a bat flying around him out of nowhere. Give me a second here. He says a lot of stuff that I keep trying to like want to like say these things in Korean, and it's so bad. I'm just so bad at like this as a language.
Don't try.
I tried for so
Wait,
many other languages.
don't-
I could do it
I
in
know,
other languages.
You don't have to. That's because you're familiar with
Oh no,
Latin-based languages.
Egyptian
Even Scandinavian
and
sound
like
a little
Turkish. I could do.
Oh,
Yeah, like Egyptian and Turkish, it went well. There's just something about like the way that this language is done that I'm just really bad at it. I think it's because the
No,
words are.
Korean is extremely complicated.
It's just like trying to speak Danish. Like unless you spend a long time training it or are born Danish
Danes?
freaking hard to do.
I'm curious now to do English to Danish and like say some of these sentences and see what it looks like now.
Alright, that thing I'm looking indoors.
Yeah, there is what looks to be like a small office next to you.
I'm gonna usher Dawn in, get her to hide under the desk and like wreath shadows around her to make her even more difficult to see. And then I'm gonna find a nice dark corner somewhere and stand in it with shadow.
Okay.
will do the thing that kids do where they're like, well, if I can't see you, you can't see me, and she just like covers her eyes and that's
Yeah,
All
as soon as Leslie grabs Dawn, I'm grabbing Dawn's hand to follow.
Okay. Yeah, you'll kind of like sneak into the room as best as you can. What's the bat doing once the like people seemingly are hidden?
If I see them, I'm just gonna spend a point to also have the dark vision.
Wouldn't the bat have that?
No. It's got echolocation.
Oh, that's true.
Even that depends on the bat.
True.
Let's see what the bat stats are.
Oh, bats.
In bat form, vampire strength is reduced to 1. You can fly. Difficulties for all hearing-based perception rolls are reduced by 3. Okay, so it is more of a hearing bat. Anyway, yeah, assuming I hear them, like, go into a room.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you probably
then
want
I would-
You probably, with your like bat senses, would hear it when it's like probably really quiet and this guy is yelling about a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
Just so long as
Yeah.
you don't have a bad credit
Then I'd
card.
probably...
Only also if you have a skin tight like suit with nipples or something.
Yeah.
Like a Kevlar suit with nipples.
Yeah. I'd probably
Oh,
fly
Murph.
off into a room away from them.
Look, we're talking about Batman and
Yeah.
got nipples. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So where are you gonna fly to? Like, there's no other rooms open except the one that this guy came from.
I'd fly into there then.
Okay, it seems to be some kind of security office. There's another guy, like, in the back of the room, like, kind of, like, laughing at him a little bit. And he'd be like, he'll, like, point out, like, say something about you, like, you know, being in the room, you know.
I'd probably more perch in a corner, and
Yeah.
then I'm gonna take a look at the cameras and stuff and see what it is they're looking at.
There seems to be, like, a blinking light. Most of the cameras seem to be, like, on the front of the building, that kind of thing. A couple of the areas, like, around the main floors. It seems like they have mainly cameras in, like, the, where the people would come up the elevator or stairs. Kind of things like that. And then the main entrance. But
Okay,
there is a
so
blinking light that's
none-
going on. That seems to be, you can guess, probably a silent alarm.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be calm in the corner, as if I've calmed
Okay.
down.
Okay. They'll
If
like,
they swatted
like
me,
pointing at.
obviously
Well, they're
it's
not gonna
really
like
good.
bother you now. Like they're gonna point at you, like and like someone's gonna be like it's like it looks like they're talking about maybe getting a net or something. You can only guess because there's like he's like emoting with his hands. You know, like the we can catch it or something. You know. They seem to be planning out to like get you. But they also will be like talking about how like one will point down towards the end of the hall, where you guys never said you closed that back door, or did you then?
No, I said we closed it.
Okay, so you closed it.
I said I assumed that we closed it.
You assumed that you closed it, and no one ever said that you did, because you'd just been inside the door. So I assume when you panicked, it might still be open, which might be a place where a bat came from. But then why is it open?
Someone's not doing their job.
One didn't lock it properly.
Maybe.
The bat opened that fucking door.
You know what? It's we're starting a little late. It's still a little early. Then why don't we take our break here, as like things have calmed down a little bit here, and there are 2 guards that are on patrol, and probably one of them's talking to the authorities. As they haven't
Probably.
begun a search around or anything like that. As there's a bat in a security room and a bunch of other people in like a dark office. It's a completely black dark office where you can't see anything. Yup. It's not even a great
So
office.
fine.
It's probably just like, someone that's like maybe the head of the janitor's kind of office, Head janitor office. So he doesn't get a window, and he's sad.
Oh,
Aw.
that's convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Like,
dark
like
room.
a
As long as no one's
janitor's
search here, it's a nice dark room. I mean, Anyway, we'll take our first break here. If you need a bathroom, drink, snack break, anything like that, go ahead and do it, and we'll be back in a little bit. We're coming back in, and I'm going to be hand-waving Korean, because apparently that's my worst language of trying to butcher out of all the languages I've attempted to butcher on this show.
So far.
Yeah. Not sure if we get any worse than that, but we'll find out. Anyway, three of you find yourself in a, like, dark, closed-off office, and...
I do want to say, though, it could be worse. It could be that African clicking language. Language? It's like a language in Africa. It's like...
Yeah!
You know, it's like they just click.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's some other, like, languages on here that I can be like, yeah, there's some language on here. So, when there's a bat in an office, what are you doing while waiting? I mean, Bat's probably observing them. They're trying to fashion a net out of, like, stuff. Well, one of them's trying to fashion a net, while the other one seems to go off and go close the door.
Okay. That's not good for me. Not for my plan, at least. Because I have earth meld, so I can just sleep in the ground if I needed to.
Mm-hmm.
So if they got the bat and got me out, I could go and sleep in the ground, but... Actually, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, like, flood over to the door room and kind of sit in there. See if they'll try and get me out that way.
To which room?
The room with the door, the exit.
That's a hallway.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be in the hallway.
Okay, so you're gonna be flying around the hallway?
Yeah, if they try and get me out the door, that'll be good.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they're gonna try to get you out the door because they've closed it up because of it. You know, they seem to be like kind of like keeping an eye on you for a little bit. And then like the two of them will talk with each other, and they're gonna close up the security door to the security room.
Okay.
At least for now.
Are they inside the security room then?
They are currently inside the security room. But the three of you don't know that. Only a bat knows about that.
Right.
The one was still on the phone, though. You definitely could tell.
Okay. Oh, let's just spend a lot of blood points to do. I could do it. Actually, wait. I need to check something.
I'm assuming you can't maintain your invisibility while you sleep, Nathan.
No, I can't, and that's why I was hoping to get out fast, because apparently it's really close to dawn.
Nathan? What?
Is there a closet in this room?
In this room, no. You can hear us? What's going on? Do you hear me?
Oh, Umber just said there's no one hearing me.
Yeah.
I heard him. Yeah, I heard you.
I was also hearing him.
Wait, but nobody was answering anything.
I did you hear me?
Maybe you cut out for a little bit or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nathan, can you maintain invisibility while sleeping?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
And I cannot maintain my animal form while sleeping either.
You'll hear some sirens coming from nearby as police arrive. And then one of them will leave, go out the double doors towards the main thing. With some keys, you know, he's going to unlock the double doors. He's going to head out into the main lobby as you're kind of fluttering around. You could head out into the main lobby, too, if you wanted to.
I will.
And then you see they're going to open the front door as it seems like 2 police cars have arrived and an animal control van.
I'm going to fly out the front door.
Uh-huh. They're gonna yell at you as you like fly off into the air. As the guys with nets will be like kind of like look like, well, I guess we're not needed in here. And then I guess they're gonna take a look around if there's any other bats inside. I guess as
Actually, yes, I can do it while I'm sleeping. The vampire remains ignored indefinitely unless someone deliberately seeks him out or he inadvertently reveals himself.
So if you start using it and then kind of fall into a rest, you can at least unless something happens to disturb you, you shouldn't be bothered.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you like sit in a corner or something and just be like, I'm not to be bothered, as long as no one would interfere with you or get near you, you should be fine. Okay, Bat, what are you doing? The rest of them are hiding. There are police officers here now.
I'm speeding over as fast as I can to a place where there is natural ground, and then I'm going to use the earth meld.
All right.
To sleep.
So you're just going to like dive into a park nearby and just be like, meow.
Yep. Yep.
What are the three of you doing?
Well, Nathan, I assume, is going invisible?
Not yet. Nathan is going onto his phone as soon as he starts hearing the sirens and looking up very basic commands in Japanese. Or in Korean, rather. Yeah,
Okay.
Japanese probably wouldn't help here, would it?
No, you got some basic things in Korean. Okay.
So basically, like, ignore this room.
Okay. I guess you're gonna wait around, and what you're planning is like if an officer would like come to that door, open it up, and like shine a flashlight, you're gonna attempt to use in Korean the command, like ignore this room. And well, I guess you're using dominate.
Yes.
You said this is a janitor's room. Janitor's like
the top like a manager janitor.
Yeah, like it's a room with 5 floors. They probably have like a small team of janitors and stuff like that, and like technicians and things like that. And whoever's in charge of that group would be here.
Are there any lockers?
In this one, no. There's probably like a desk.
Just the desk that I've got Dawn hiding under?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just gonna keep her wreathed in shadows. I'm gonna do the same thing, stand behind the door.
Okay. So let me check out dominate. That's this one's. Chemistry, it's not what we're looking for.
Oh shit, yeah.
What level chemistry do you have anyway, Dawn?
I have level 3 now. Oh yeah, I could do something with that. I was thinking I was gonna punch someone, but it doesn't just punch.
If you spend the willpower, you do realize you could create an illusion that would fill a 20-foot cubic area that lasts until you leave the vicinity, such as stepping out of the room, or until another person sees through it somehow.
That is true.
It doesn't say you have to be awake for it.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, you could just create an empty room.
Yeah, fuck, I'm gonna fucking...
I will point out that I can actually use mesmerize. Which is
like, I'm gonna give you like a suggestion here, just because like again, like you don't use a lot of both like these powers, but you could probably combine the two of them. Have chemistry to like actually hide stuff, and then you use like the mesmer to like prevent them from actually coming in the room and searching, and just like they looked in the room, they didn't see anything, they wouldn't think to like look anymore, kind of thing. What level chemistry did you have, Dawn, anyway?
3.
You have 3? Alright, you probably don't have to use it. You probably want to use like Fata Morgana.
Yeah, create the motionless one.
It's static, but it has like, it fools a lot of senses. So you wouldn't have any smells, you wouldn't have any kind of, it would just be like whatever the room was, nothing any of you would have would be detectable then, So you can spend a willpower, just create that. That just happens. Yeah, and he's immortal, so we can't really see through it. And then we have mesmerize.
The player rolls manipulation plus leadership, difficulty equal to the target's current willpower points.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your manipulation leadership then. Difficulty, let's see, it's a police officer. We'll just say 6. Kind of average willpower.
Okay.
Most mortals probably have pretty low willpower. Well, I mean, like, if he was the most willpower guy in the universe, you still would have overcome him. So, like, it doesn't matter. Even if he was, like, he's Jim, the officer with 10 willpower, or, like, Korean equivalent of Jim as a name. And he, like, shows up there. He looks inside, and no. So, yeah. How well the suggestion takes hold in the subconscious? Well...
if I get to count my persuasive bonus, I get to reroll all 3 of those 10s.
Sure. You are being persuasive. 2 more. Like,
Wow.
I mean, he is, like, mind screwed by you. You can give him any kind of suggestion or command, you know?
Well, except that I can't talk to him except to tell him this room is empty.
Oh gosh, at 5 successes or greater, the vampire can implant nearly any sort of command.
Yeah.
Yep.
That could be this, like, just throw yourself off a building. He's like, okay. Up. Whee! You know?
Your social security number as well as your credit cards.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, so, he says some things, and your room is left alone.
It says no matter how strong the will, you can't form them to directly harm themselves, so...
Yeah.
Directly.
Not off a building.
Indirectly,
Yeah,
though.
He can't stab himself, but he can jump.
Well,
What?
I don't think I
Fair.
could throw him off the top of a building, but apparently I could make him get into a fight with, like, a gorilla.
Or you could say, like, go to the zoo and fight a bear, you know? Something like that.
And-
you know?
And let the tiger out of its cage.
Yeah. You know, they wouldn't directly hurt themselves. They just do something that would be really stupid and probably get themselves killed. Or, like, you know, go dance in traffic. You're not necessarily going to get yourself, force yourself to harm self directly. Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to go dance in traffic, I mean, like, people can do that. It's just insane because, you know, traffic and cars. But anyway, okay, yeah, the person kind of opens the door, looks, and then just leaves. The cops search around for a while. They report, as far as you know, they report nothing, and no one ever returns then. So, good job. You managed to trick the masses into thinking that the alarm was just like a false alarm. Something happened at the door. It popped open.
Someone didn't close it tight. It blew open.
And
Must have been the wind.
And it was enough that, like, the alarm, because it was closed just enough for the alarm to be in place, but then when it opened, it, like, set it off or something, you know. It was maybe, like...
my grandma's, like, garage door, and it freaked our whole family out, because, like, my grandma wasn't home and got, like, the alarm trigger.
So, yeah. Probably when they thought they closed it, they're thinking that, like, oh, it must have gotten stuck in some way and not fully closed, you know? Maybe they'll have to have some maintenance guy come and check out the door. Something like that, you know? As security will continue to watch the place, and you guys can enjoy a day of rest, actually. Well, the next night will come upon you. The 3 of you are in an office, still, under the illusion that Dawn has set forth. Technically. Emil, you wake up refreshed right in a park, you know?
Yep.
I mean,
Literally
like,
in a park.
yeah. Can you sense if there's people nearby when you awaken? Cause, like, you're in a park that you went and hid in, and I'm pretty sure you probably went for, like, an out-of-the-way area anyway, but, like, in case, like, there might be people wandering around even early at evening in the park. There probably wouldn't be during a pandemic, necessarily, but, you know.
I don't know. You haven't seen the parks around me, I guess.
Well, I mean, you know.
Sensing his surroundings only distantly. The player may make a humanity path roll for the character to arouse himself in his danger.
But you sense it kind of
Just look at
distantly.
him.
You still have like a sense of it, you know. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
If you
so
can
I have a vague idea. It's more like, you know,
You can make sure there's no one
A few.
around. There isn't a lot of people that would like maybe do stuff in the park anyway at this point in time. I was just also saying Korea was much better at locking down things than we were anyway. Cough, cough. America, cough, cough. But yeah. So, Emil, you're awake. You're separated from everybody else. Everybody else is in an office somewhere.
yep. I'm gonna go wait by that office.
Okay. What are the three of your plan to escape then?
I assume they lock the door from the inside, so if it's just got one of those little turny locks from the inside, we
You
just
could
walk
probably
on out.
it probably would be easy to escape out the door that you came in through, but it would most likely set off the alarm again.
Well, then they're just gonna think it's a buggy alarm, and we can come back later.
All right.
Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
better not to go back to the same one, but
Anyway, all right. Well, after those misadventures of trying to find rest, you will exit out, and after a little while of being hiding in the town somewhere because everything's quiet, you'll get a message from your good associate whose name I'm forgetting and is listed somewhere. Sungpyeong Choi.
oh yeah, right when I woke up, I would have texted you. Slept in a park. Let me know when you're awake.
Dawn! Is this Dawn? It's better be Dawn. I don't want to talk to Nathan.
Hi, it's Dawn!
Dawn! Look. I talked to them. They might be willing to talk to you. We gotta take you to the council. I can call a meeting. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Where do we go?
He'll give you
Yeah,
some
directions.
directions of some place to meet.
Alright, great.
He'll actually lead you to, within the subway system, to an abandoned subway platform.
Pop
I'll
in
give
my
you-
3/4.
Sure. There's this like mummified body of a kid with like a weird scar shape on his head, you know. Not sure when he died. He's just like, you know, horribly mummified. Got an owl.
Awful lot of hair on that child.
He's almost like a hairy man.
But
That's why I put alcohol in here.
can you pass that over? I need some.
It's not even Carpe making the puns today. What's happening?
I don't know.
Life is happening.
All right. Son. I'll just call him Son because you know name. Will kind of approach you and like as soon as you kind of arrive, and you'll get the feeling that there are other people around, but they're kind of staying out to the shadows and things, kind of like out of the view of a lot of people. Well, you have your chance today. I will translate for you, but you must use your words wisely. We at the Green Court are quite insular here in Korea. And business is business. And those that seek our protection are oftentimes part of business. But you come open-armed as connections as a friend of the Green Court. We have yet to see if you truly are a friend of the court. But regardless if this is true or not, you seek a permission to meet with those under our protectorate. Now, the fact that they would open themselves up to you is different than whether or not we would allow you to see them. So, state your case. Who speaks for you?
probably not the one who just got here like a couple weeks ago.
Ah, you'll be fine. Come on, who wants to speak up? Nathan?
Old family of the Nagaraja from Egypt request them to join in a family gathering to respect their ancestors.
There's some like discussion. Words are said, and like they'll say something back after your translator, basically. Son says something, but then he'll address you with the question. And why would this family be any different than how they have been treated previously? It seems as though they are constantly being under threat, attacked by your kind. There are many that are threatened by your actions, by the way that you do things, your rules, and they go beyond your rules. They have found safety here, but you seek for them to leave their safety and to come to your stead.
It is not us who seeks it. It is their own family.
Angelique of Sakara will assure their safety for the meeting.
There's some more discussion, and he's going to turn back to you. Those of the clan of the dead are mostly dead themselves. What little safety can they offer? They find themselves slaughtered by others of your kind, shunned, betrayed. Yet again you shall prove it again. You welcomed with open arms the Italian gangsters in their place, calling it an infight, when obviously it was a genocide.
On the contrary, Angelique is responsible for keeping the Giovanni out of her area and out of Cairo.
There's a little bit more discussion, and afterwards they're kind of turned towards you, and one will say, if we would guarantee you safety and a permission to speak with them, you seek for them to leave our protection. Is that true?
If I recall out of character, we don't need all of them, we just need representatives from them, correct?
Theoretically.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't our only point to deliver the message? That was...
In a way, yes.
Mm-hmm. The kuei-jin are making it about more than that, though.
Yes.
Okay.
They are implying that they feel there is a ramifications to your message, and that's why they're making it about it.
Okay.
So it does make it a different... Okay, go ahead.
The five of us bear no malice towards the Nagaraja. If necessary, we will protect a small group in their travels to Cairo to assure that they reach the city intact. Not completely dead.
we worry not about their safety. They have been under our protection, and should they seek to travel in this case, traveling to a country such as itself would be within our purview to allow and to permit them to do. So, going to there, not impossible to go. Their safety, not necessarily something that we seek in a way. What we seek is to understand why we should betray the trust they have paid in us, to allow them to open themselves up to a world which has shunned them. You say that they would be safe there, but they leave here, where they are safe, where they are hidden from the hunters of your kind, those that would destroy them because they break your masquerade by very existence. They must hide and find ways of gaining their sustenance, dangerous and deadly ways.
Out of character, two things. A, why would this be the Green Court betraying the Nagaraja's trust when the Nagaraja agreed to hear the message? And two, I have already forgotten. Fuck.
Nagaraja, the way you've put it, is like someone that is of, like, importance to them is basically trying to contact them. So they're willing to listen. But, like, the Green Court is also more like... the Nagaraja might be a little... I wouldn't call them more trusting, but they're, like, willing to hear the message kind of thing, you know?
I mean, that's all we need. We're just delivering the message to them. Right?
The Green Court's looking at it as, like, a whole, you know, like, regardless of your message.
If you deliver this message and they choose to leave the Green Court's protection, they will no longer be protected in the way the Green Court can protect them here and now. And
but
so
they can come back, right? They could just go to Cairo for the meeting, and like Nathan said, a representative, not even the entire group, could go to the meeting and come back, right?
It's
They're
more
it sounds like
complex
they're
than
wanting some more security along their travels.
It's also, what kind of it is that the Nagaraja have been hidden away in a place where they are safe, effectively, within Korea. Someplace away from the prying eyes. Someplace where they are most likely, because, again, it's similar to you can feed on animals. They probably are just eating a lot of live creatures to get blood. It's probably a relatively awful existence, because they do have to take chunks of flesh with their blood, you know? But they are sustaining themselves in this place that's probably like almost like a witness protection kind of hiding away. Probably somewhere like in an ancient ruins, in like a cave somewhere, in a small town, where any movement out of there becomes a little bit more noticeable except to prying eyes. They made sure in the first point to hide them there, and they're worried about breaking them open to the world, you know?
Because as soon as they leave and anyone learns where they were, it's going to be that much easier to find them and know that there are some left, I think.
One more out
Or
of
even
character.
follow them back.
One more out of character thing then. FaceTime is a wonderful, or Discord. You can have, video calls. Or...
Well, you can't.
You can do voice.
Leslie's flipping you off from behind a camera.
Well, I can't see him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just an empty room.
Every crime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised I haven't seen a meme about that, like vampires on Zoom or anything. I'm surprised no one's done that yet.
So,
I've seen.
Yep.
Just something that could be mentioned. Like, there are technologies where they could communicate with their family without having to leave.
I mean, I think it's also like the fact that their ancient bloodline that probably hasn't spread a lot of new members in a long time, and the Green Court is an ancient bloodline of kind of vampires that are very much more traditionalist things. There's probably not a lot of actual technology except for a few key members. Like Son, here you've been talking to, is probably one of the few in this entire group that actually has a cell phone. Probably some of the others might not even have that, and they might have other ways of delivering message to them. And probably wherever they're keeping them,
they're in Korea. One of the
and probably that helps. But I'm trying to say is wherever they're at is probably cut off from the world kind of thing. They are just hidden somewhere, as far as you can tell. The Green Court offers protection, very powerful protection to people when they offer it. The Nagaraja probably gave up, like, all of their material possessions and, like, any kind of money they had when they got here, too. You know, so sort of, like, for the deal of, like, hide us away from the world and those that would kill us.
The deal of a lifetime.
This is where we need Samuel so he can go, oh, well, you see, a phone can be a hotspot, and you connect a computer to it, and boom, you have internet wherever you want, and FaceTime, or Skype, or Discord. Where the fuck is Samuel?
I
We
mean,
should-
I
I mean,
can
we could
explain
start-
that.
we should-
I'm just
we-
not sure what they're capable of.
We can start tormenting Dunce. He theoretically has internet and is free on Tuesdays. Cough, cough, cough.
I mean,
In the current
if you're
situation,
that worried about traveling, you could. I'm actually going to speak up. If you're that worried about traveling, you could always Skype or video conference.
We would much rather not have technology be in an area where technology oftentimes makes it very easy to see. We've seen what is happening in your Europe, where dangerous forces are beginning to watch the supernatural world. It has not yet occurred here in the East, and we hope for it to remain that way.
we do as well. And
We're in a lit room, right?
No. You are probably in an area that is a dark, abandoned train station that only probably has lights because they're like the lights that kind of vaguely last forever, and they're built into built in here. Probably one of them's like blinking on and off in the background or something, and there's like a subway tunnel nearby kind of thing that probably has some like vague lights on it. They're not like great lights either. It's like low light.
So we're in some light then.
A little bit, yes.
And my arm only materializes if I choose to, right?
It tends to kind of show up when it's much darker.
Alright, cool. Leslie is facepalming with his invisible hand.
Okay.
Well, I'm also probably my eyes probably going red, so I can see in the dark.
Don't look at Leslie. Leslie so far has not looked at you, which is good.
Yep.
This has not come up in a while.
It hasn't. Uh-huh.
Oh,
Wait.
fuck. This is the worst time
Wait.
for this.
Yep.
This is something. Okay.
Uh-huh.
This may happen. I have no idea
Yep.
what it is, but
Yeah, this may. This may. Oh boy. In the green court. Oh boy.
we have come, as much as we can, as friends. We are not trying to coerce or manipulate anyone into doing anything here. Our joy is to pass a message from an ancestor to their kin. I can't think of a better word than joy. Sorry.
They'll discuss things for a little bit, and then we'll come back to you, and we'll say, and Son will say, we see the point in your idea. A member of ancestry of this group seeks to communicate with them and seeks their safety. This is not something we will deny would be helpful. But rather than you come to the Nagaraja and deliver your message, we will communicate with them and choose one representative. One who is prepared to never return home to his kin, if that comes to it. Who will go and gain your message, and then travel with you to the place. You will deliver him to where this message is held. Egypt, yes?
Cairo.
Cairo.
More accurately, Saqqara, I believe, which is
Regardless,
just outside of Cairo.
you will deliver
Yes.
them there and ensure their safety. Once they can return to the shores of Korea and communicate with us, we can decide whether they are safe enough for more to travel or for him to return. him or her to return to their home. They may be banished for all time, and we will let them know this, and see if one will choose the outside world.
Are they a do they seek enlightenment after their years here?
We do not seek what they seek. They seek their own way of doing things. Just as they are under our protection, we are still separate from them. We have found them a place to be hidden away from the world. Hidden away from hunters. On all fronts.
Do you seek enlightenment?
All kuei-jin do. Is the nature of our ways. Oh, I'm frozen. Yep. Mm-hmm. Whee!
Uh-oh.
Oh, I am
Yep.
frozen anime. I'm like doing like the I was like almost doing the glasses thing. Yeah. Frozen anime Tantus. Yep. Mm-hmm. I just noticed. Wow.
Flash shine.
You're prepping for the 2-finger glasses push.
Yeah. Prepping for the
Yep.
finger glasses push. Yes.
I only noticed because I was looking at Discord and I've just got a gray screen and the spinning blue squares. It's like, all right, check stream. Oh,
We didn't have
hey,
to
stream it.
I mean, I have to say, like, on Sunday, I had incredibly bad Discord issues. So, like, having it not up until now is actually relieving. You know?
If I might, out of character, if I might make a suggestion, perhaps we could quickly finish this up
Yeah.
and then take our next break a little bit early.
Sure. I don't know if I can fix it, because I couldn't fix it on Sunday. It was just me being frozen a lot.
Well, at least then we can attempt and...
So effectively what they're going to say is they're going to find a volunteer amongst the Nagaraja, bring them to you guys. They will get the message and then be escorted to Egypt to, you know, do with the meeting, if they agree to it on that point in time. They just don't know if they'll be able to return to the others. They might be able to spread a message to the others, that will be for sure, but whether they will be able to return back in to the protection, you don't know. They don't know that. You know. This is...
That is acceptable.
Yeah.
If it makes any difference, Cho Lee from Sensoji has seen inside us and found us honorable.
Interesting. Go now. Return here tomorrow, and the one you seek will be here. As they're gonna kind of like move off into the shadows and disappear then and stuff off their own ways also. Alright, yeah.
Thank you very much, son.
Yeah. He'll wait for you to leave, so he'll be the only one kind of hanging around until you leave.
Mhm.
He'll probably leave after you then. Why don't we do that break then? I'll see if I can play around with Discord. Maybe like hang up, I'll come back in or something. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. It sometimes does fix things. If not, I'll remain anime, like, you know, pushing up my glasses with 2 fingers kind of thing, which is fine. And then we can move on to figuring out what you guys want to do for one more night down here, and then it'll probably be easier than last time, since you learned a lot of lessons for the first time you try to break into a building and find a place to rest. And then also meet with a member of the Nagaraja. So,
Woo!
yeah. We'll be back in a little bit. See you in a couple minutes, folks. Hey, welcome back. I'm moving at least for now. Whatever. I don't know. It's the same issues I was having a lot of on Grinding Gears. The unfortunate thing for Grinding Gears is, like, I'm not... the fortunate thing for that one is I'm not the person in charge. I'm not the DM. I'm only a player. So if I freeze up into oblivion, it doesn't really matter.
As much.
As much, yes. Oh.
It's okay. I freeze up all the time.
But so what's the plan now for tonight? Because you have one more night that you got to stay here at least.
Well, I mean, we can leave the subway
Mm-hmm.
and then go back to the abandoned subway area and see if we can find like a maintenance tunnel or something. Because it's not the
Do
sewer.
I catch a glimpse of Leslie on her way out?
I mean,
Well, it's
Leslie's-
more if Leslie catches a glimpse of you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Oh God. Computer issues make me tired.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, you can. You're gonna see if there's another area of the subway system that you can kind of like hide in amongst. There aren't many like real old subway platforms. There are a few of them, probably dating back from like before the Korean War and stuff like that, from the early days of Seoul.
But also things are shut down right now.
And the things are shut down. There's probably a few subway trains running, mainly for just those essential personnel that need to be moved around, you know. So things are much more restricted and controlled. It's probably only like a few cars are in use, so it is a decent time to explore the subway, theoretically, if you wanted to try to find an abandoned area. Especially overnight, things probably shut down when it gets late enough.
Well,
I guess one of you give me, I don't know what kind of check it would be to search.
Mr. Bats?
I guess Mr. Bats, you want to search around for abandoned subway areas that could be useful to stay at for the evening?
Sure.
Give me Batception check. Perception. Probably just alertness, I guess. I mean, you're a vamp. Perception. Something or other.
Probably
think
alertness.
that's just a general
Or
searching-
investigation.
Oh, perception investigation we'll go for. Sure, that sounds a little better. I feel like I like that better. It's not quite what I want, but that'll do. Can't think of what I want. Like perception, like
And...
architecture or something. I don't know.
Oh, I'm investigating for a spot to find.
Yeah. That's out of the way, that you won't get hit by a subway car, a train that's still running for the very few that are running.
Really funny is Wolf would actually be better for this because they just get a flat -2 to difficulty for perception checks.
And I have to say, like, the old abandoned subway station is, like, still on the main subway line. So it's like the train cars still, or the subway
What's my
still pass
difficulty?
by there, but they were kind of, like, very... It's gonna be standard difficulty. We'll see how well you do.
Okay, I'm gonna be in wolf form, so -2.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You take a look around. There are definitely a few like side maintenance areas that could probably be accessed. You might have to actually break into them, but there are quite a few more options. Like the abandoned subway platform that you met at before probably might not be very cool to use it again, you know? But it's a lot of tunnels, so it might be very difficult to find another one if there is a couple. There might be a few more. They might not be on the main tunnels, or they might be in like a tunnel that's hidden off or something. You don't know what happened.
Okay. So I'm able to find a small offshoot where we could just hide for the night?
Mm-hmm.
Or for the day? Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Dawn can throw up her magical illusion.
I can drop a magical illusion.
Yep. Hey. I quickly looked it up for like abandoned subway platform in Seoul, and there's apparently the something referred to as the ghost platform. There you go.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh my.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So there are a couple of these abandoned subway platforms sealed away. I'm guessing in most cities that there's an active subway network. They gotta end up with a few of them.
Oh, that's good. I made a mistake. Okay, good. I get 3 blood points more.
Yep. All right. You can spend your evening finding a place hidden in the subway that you can rest. You won't have to worry about it.
I was worried because I got down to 2. Because I thought, shifting was 2 points, but I guess that's just because I often spent blood to do it faster when in combat, so that's probably where I just wanted to. I just double checked. I'm like, oh wait, no, it is only 1.
Whew.
Anyway, what, you'll enjoy your evening, spend your blood points to wake up. What's your plan now? Meet with, people?
You'll
Yep.
also get a snack at some point.
Yeah, I know.
Easier said than done. Your
I
normal hookers or nightclubs isn't really, like, open a lot right now.
That's why I've been trying to avoid spending blood as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. There's some nice rats, probably, you could try to hunt.
How full is everyone's tank at the moment?
I'm running about half full.
I am half full, yeah.
9 of 15.
I'm at 5.
Wait, no, waking up. 8 of 15.
5 as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, they said they would be back today or
Yep.
tonight.
Yep.
So we should be able to leave tonight, and when we get back to wherever it is we end up going to, we should be able to eat there. Correct?
Theoretically.
Sounds like a plan.
How long do we have till we're supposed to meet them?
Not long. About the same time as you met them the last evening, which was pretty early evening. So you had time to search around the subway, and look for something. So you probably were just afterwards hanging around a subway deep underground. I mean, like, everything's shut down upstairs, so unless you're, like, breaking into people's houses and feeding on them, which is a little difficult to do and not be noticeable, there's reasons why you hunt in, like, subtle places. It's just subtle places aren't open right now.
If we had a bunch of time last night, then I would have
We had
gone
a bunch
up
of time afterwards.
Yeah. Aspects, so enhanced hearing sight, yada yada. See if I can find any homeless.
No. They have maintained the homeless off the streets, either putting them into shelters or and keeping them quarantined, or effectively done a pretty good job of shutting everything down. If there are any homeless, there aren't any nearby to where you're staying right now.
All right, then Leslie's gonna hunt for some rats.
Mm-hmm.
Because I burn a lot of blood if we get in combat.
All right, make a let's see here.
I'm probably gonna have to join him.
Let's say, like, for good old hunting rats, wit survival.
All
For hunting
right.
something down.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'll
Done.
keep it at difficulty 6. It's rats in a subway.
Will you be able to survive till tomorrow?
Well, I'm gonna be fine.
Do I get any like lower difficulty or anything for Auspex celerity? Finding and catching them easier?
Sure. You could have difficulty 5 because you got some of those heightened senses.
Sweet.
Makes you easy to sniff them out.
All right, go on.
Wait, hold on. That is a difficulty 56. One moment, please.
No, it's fine. You have 2. We know how many successes we can count it. Difficulty 56 This is really funny.
Oh my god.
I swear I had the. Okay, never mind.
All right. Yeah.
We're hunting the
I'm
rodents of
hunting
unusual
shinobi rats.
size.
Oh god.
The two of you will definitely take a good look around, and spending a couple of hours hunting around, between the two of you, you should be able to each find about 4 rats, we'll say.
Sweet.
So that's 2 blood points you can each get.
Yeah.
It's not a lot, but it's something to keep you going.
It gives me 1 additional after waking up. I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. All right. I assume that you head to the meeting then the next evening, where it'll be similar to last time that Sun will be there kind of waiting for you, and a group of others will kind of assemble then. This swarthy-looking woman will kind of move out and approach you. You notice that she has some like interesting tattoos over her one sleeve, or one of her one arm, and then she kind of will like give a little bit of like a bow, and say like, "I hear you are looking for information, or to give information to my people. I have volunteered to be the one to listen for them."
Very well. I'm looking for the name.
Is it Lazarus you're thinking of sending a
Nope.
message from?
No, I know that name.
Yeah.
Angelique, on behalf of her, your joint ancestor, has requested a Nagaraja presence at a family reunion.
We are very different from those that are direct descendants of your Miss Angelique. We are more created. But we are servants of the dead, just as they are. And perhaps that is why they seek us. Is that why we are being called upon this day?
They're all Cappadocians, right? Or they were?
Cappadocian is seemingly the clan of the dead, as referred to. They're seemingly the originators of necromancy, as far as you know. But it's like also kind of, it's hard to have an exact measurement of where things mixed and matched and things changed. Like, it's theoretically that they're trying to assemble all the clans of the dead. Basically, is what it is. A reunion of them. Whether or not they're direct descendants is really up for debate.
Got it. Yes.
Interesting. I will travel with you. Go this way. I do not fear what is known as death for those of our kind, or the unknown. We must see beyond our own fears, always, and continue to face forward. We shall find if this meeting will mean anything to my kind, to my blood, or we shall continue to find exile deep away. She's going to accompany you. What's your plans now?
What is your name? Or what should we call you?
I've gone by many names over the years, and been called many things, but,
Also known as GM spelling to look up a name.
not necessarily. It's that the name I have for the person, I know that they use multiple names, so I was going to get a different one to use, basically, that she was going to give you. Because she doesn't quite trust you fully yet.
Yeah, no problem.
Mm-hmm. So, the name she will give you is, Raita.
Raita?
Raita.
A pleasure to meet you, Raita.
I am Nathan, Leslie, Dawn, Emil. Did the Green Court say they were going to deal with her protection and travel?
Once you when they originally came up upon the full deal, how it ended up being more upon your heads at this point in time. Like, if they were going to transport more of them, they felt like they needed to intervene. But with just one individual, that's kind of like the sacrificial lamb almost about this, they're kind of looking towards you.
Got it. All right. And this is Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hello there! This entire thing has been a little freaky and weird in a sewer? I'm sorry, subway? I mean, look, I'm all for sewer adventures. Can I go back to the surface? It's a weird thing when you're a giant roach monster and you don't really like sewers. You think you like them, but no.
All right.
Right, I apologize for the possibly insensitive nature of this, but have you fed recently?
I'll be fine for some time. You notice that she's very soft-spoken and kind of like doesn't really move her mouth very much.
Wonderful. Well then. Our way out of Korea then.
Ryan, if you could contact your foxy friends.
Sure. I'll see if they can do anything for me.
Out of character, didn't you say that they would be able to get us in and out, as long as we didn't have any trouble with the people?
They didn't really say anything about out, per se. Yep.
In that case, I would have wanted to talk to the Green Court about getting out. Because I was pretty sure you had said that they would get us in and out.
They said they might be able to help without. They just didn't give exact details or anything. They said they can get you in, maybe get you out. The Green Court, Sun will basically approach you and effectively say, like, to you, just as is your own way into the country, it must be your own way out. Things are tense now. Plague has come to Korea, as it has come to many places in the world. Or it will come. This is not the first we have seen of this type of thing. It will not be the last. Mortals are weak, frail. Sometimes that mortality draws to more of our own kind. Other times it leads to oblivion. Let your travels be without oblivion. And perhaps in many years we may meet again.
Perhaps. In the interest of legitimate friendship, is there anything I can do for you?
Stay away from Korea. Not to say that you may not be welcomed back if you return, but only return if there's great need for us. Do not make house calls. You have used your welcome in the way that you found your way in. Just to let you know, it will be not so easy to find us again. Business will be business, but friendship is something that is very slowly earned over many lifetimes.
Very well.
We are in Busan, right?
You are in Seoul right now.
In Seoul.
Yeah. Busan is where you came in, where the port is, and you took the train up into Seoul. You can easily take a train back to Busan. So getting back to Busan would not be difficult. There's some overnight freight going on. Even now, you could easily hop another freight train, get back in. It won't be difficult.
Busan to Japan wouldn't really be that hard. We could get to Fukuoka. Horribly mispronouncing, I'm sure. It's only about 200 kilometers. We could, if we need to, even just steal
a lot of ships that go in between it, and they are very heavily regulated right now.
Oh, no, I mean, we could steal a boat.
No, okay, you could steal a boat. You could probably steal a speedboat, definitely, and one that has enough fuel to get there between there. Yeah, I'll say definitely if you want to do that.
Anyone know how to drive a speedboat?
I mean, I can barely drive a car, but I'll try.
Just like any
I've-
other boat, I assume.
I've driven one before, although I'm not necessarily good at it.
I've only had rowboats that I've encountered. So do some fishing with a rowboat. I did kayaking once, if that helps.
Ooh. That sounds fun.
It
By the way, I'm
was.
just basing this off of my guy was kind of like a hunter kind of person. He's probably gone fishing once or twice in the boat.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming.
I mean, it's still very different to like your open ocean speedboat kind of thing that you're stealing at the
No,
port.
I know. That's why I'm like, I'm not sure. I was,
Yeah, I don't think any of you really have technical training in it, and I think there probably is a skill for it. It's like one of those unusual skills that no one ever takes because they're
Oh,
optional
there's drive.
skills. It's like they have like on the list like they drive. You know.
I mean,
There's-
I've got drive, and I probably know people who have yachts.
Mhm.
Yeah, you definitely know someone with a
It's
yacht.
just like it's one of those things is if I give you access to like a player's guide, they usually have like here's alternate skills that or like knowledges, etc., you can take because they're like, you know, other weird ones that you might want to take for purely character reasons.
Well, Dawn's next skill points, when we can spend them, is gonna be spent on learning how to drive a speedboat
I mean,
for emergency situations.
you could also learn like scuba diving because you're not
Ooh.
buoyant, but you know, you would have a big air tank with like the you know the oh god, I'm forgetting the name of it. The vest that fills with air to keep you afloat. You know,
Life
that,
jacket?
it's not a life jacket. It's what the divers use. I forget the kind of
Oh,
what the vest.
a
The vest. It's called.
yeah.
My brain's farting on it, man.
Get me to the top of the water vest.
It's more.
There
No. It's
Two mentions of boat in the whole Anniversary Edition book. One
Yeah.
says, swimming, you might get hit by a boat if you dodge. The other one is a quote, everyone must ride with Charon by and by. We merely wish to know what to ask him before we step onto his boat. That's it.
Well,
One.
we do want to ask him before we step onto his boat, you know?
Well, that's why
yes.
like you have to look to like sometimes for the more unusual skills and stuff. Either like look to older editions or stuff, and I think they do talk about alternates under.
Apparently, Charon was a Cappadocian, so we're good.
Oh, good.
We'll just call on him.
Who,
Alternatively, we could hit a port. I can do my sneaky shit, find out what ship's leaving when.
Speaking of sneaky shit, by the way, perhaps that method of disappearing and reappearing elsewhere you have.
Hang on.
The one that leaves the goop.
Yep, I know. I was like, I was like leaned way back in my chair. I just figured if I'm gonna talk in character, I should probably get to the proper position. I do not believe I can. Well, I do not know if I can bring anyone else with me. I know I can step in myself, but I also believe that would be a very long walk.
Oh, bring me.
If you want, I can test it. I can try to bring somebody else in, but while I am more used to the powers of the Abyss, I do not know what effect it may have on the rest of you.
Well,
Yeah, so what it'd probably fall under is there's a certain thing called like
There's like hobby,
It's called
skill, expert
hobby-
knowledge.
hobbies, professional skills, and expert knowledge.
Yeah,
Three.
they're basically if there's something else you want to take, you can take it. You know, that's the effective category. Is they keep it very open ended there and like give some examples, but like that's where all those ones that were defined as extras would be before. They just kind of like make it very easy. Anyway, it's a buoyancy compensator.
Yeah,
Buoyancy compensator. I couldn't remember that goddamn thing.
I had
God.
buoyancy, but I couldn't figure out the second word. Anyway.
Yeah.
My only other concern, Nathan, is that the Abyss is not... Well, the area I go to is not empty. more people may attract attention. I've not attracted any yet, that I know of, but it is a possible concern. However, we could at least test it, if you would like. I would not mind the additional knowledge and practice.
Very well.
I mean, again, you could also just steal a speedboat and just boat over.
Yeah, but now that you mentioned it, it is going across the open ocean in a speedboat.
Well, if you're at one of the ports, there probably would be like maybe just not like small speedboats. There might be like fishing boats that are not like, some of them might go out, some of them might not be. You could probably go to Busan and go to the port area and find plenty of boats which are like maybe not even in use because of the pandemic that are shut down, that you could probably just steal one of, as long as you could hotwire it and just like sail somewhere.
This sounds awful. I'll think the DM going, you guys are talking about stupid things, stop.
It's really just like,
I want to see you will steal a boat.
for me it's more like the first idea was actually a really good one. That's what I'm trying to say, like just
into the fucking...
I mean,
It's
like,
it's not the abyss that I step into. It's not Penumbra either. What is it?
it's kind of both and kind of awful. You kind of like dive into like like a realm of the dead kind of thing, and like a horrible shadowy thing, and then like come out the other side. You actually don't even think you could bring another person with you. You've never tried that.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. But we were figuring we were going to test it.
I mean, okay.
Do I have any
this is how-
volunteers?
Oh, me! This is how the dies.
Okay.
This is how Dawn dies.
Are you
Well,
sure,
thank you.
Dawn?
I mean, I've been in weird spiritual realms before.
I have a
And I
backup
didn't-
character idea.
You know what? Maybe Emil goes. Emil would be better. Because I don't. I'm too attached to Dawn.
Well, I'm asking the group.
I mean, if you would like to
Emil's
play a
willing.
backup character, you're welcome.
I mean, I'm
to.
not so interested in it, but I'm just saying I've thought of a backup character if Emil dies, so
Mm-hmm.
I consider it possible.
It is up to the rest of you. If you do not want to take on the risk, we will not try it.
I don't think it's a good idea, as someone has had spiritual adventures. I don't know.
This definitely sounds like the DM going, you guys are being dumb, stop now.
I mean, you guys might be able to do it because of your different nature than myself, but I don't think I could do that either.
Oh, so we wouldn't be able to get Ryan out of here anyway.
Yeah, it's because, like, you're entering a realm that's a lot more drawn into, like, the nature of the realm of the dead, and you guys are technically already dead, and I'm not. It might be really unhealthy for me.
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to, like, steal a boat anyway.
Yes.
Well, I'm down
Also, if
to
you remember,
steal
I
the
told you it spends blood to use it, and it would use it both ways. So transporting one person along with even multiple people would be more difficult. So it might have to be like a lot of trips and a lot of blood to do it too.
Oh, absolutely. That's why, like, I wasn't thinking of we're just gonna do it now. It was gonna be like a short test of can I bring somebody in,
Mm-hmm.
and what effect does it have on me and them?
I mean, you could test that. If one of them wants to be a guinea pig.
Down.
I think that it would be a better idea to test that somewhere where we have a more accessible supply of sustenance.
Hmm.
That's probably a good point. Don't want to get
Yeah,
trapped
less-
anywhere.
Last time Leslie got low, it was.
Yes.
That only happened once.
And it was a great time, but I'd rather not repeat it.
Oh yes, a great time. I very much enjoyed waking up with a essentially naked, torn suit and Nathan. Anyway, boat.
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 And boats and hoes.
You're at Busan. You steal a boat. I guess someone roll me just straight up goddamn. I don't know. What's
We need sneaky shit. We have a sneaky man.
You
I
have
don't know if it's
several.
necessarily dexterity to pilot a boat. It might be a combination of two.
Dex drive is driving, normally.
Let's do like
Yeah.
just a straight dexterity check. It'll be difficulty 7 because you're not trained at boating, but I will also need another check of a it would technically, I would probably use the wits navigation because I saw that there was an actual navigation skill to, like, you know, understand where you're going in a boat. Driving, it's one thing. To get where you want to go is another thing entirely. So I will need 2 checks.
Where is navigation?
I don't see now.
It was one of the optional ones they listed.
It was an example knowledge skill, so it's one of the like extra.
When I saw
knowledges
that,
you can
I'm
pick
like,
up.
aha! So that's why they kind of fit under it, and so that's why I'm using... That's what we're going to use for knowledge, so it's just going to default on wits.
Tantus.
Yes, but someone dexterity can roll dexterity.
To avoid that, could I just sneaky shit around until I find a boat that has a GPS built in?
It's... The GPS I'm talking about is of having a GPS built in. It's still, like... using a GPS and, like, maintaining it over the open ocean and navigating to where you want to go still requires a little bit of skill, is what I'm saying. It's not too difficult.
Never mind.
There's not like an autopilot on boats.
No, I know. Never mind.
Yeah. So,
and that's the thing.
and it doesn't have to be the same person. I'm going to say someone else can help assist you doing it.
I can do the drive.
I can do the dex.
I can do the dex as well, and I think I feel like my character. Would you say the difficulty was 7?
It'll be 7.
Well, I have 7 dice to it. I think Dawn has 7 dice.
If I can use celerity, I actually have 8.
Oh.
If so. Sure, you can go. You have a better dice pool to this, but I just feel like I was gonna ask if because my character has probably driven a boat before, at least could I have difficulty 6.
I mean, again, it's the like crossing the open ocean in a speedboat thing.
It'll probably be like a type of fishing vessel, is what I think you'll be.
Yeah.
But
my character lived in like Chicago, Washington area, or sorry, not Washington. Wisconsin? That's the word. Chicago, like Wisconsin, Illinois, Wisconsin area. So I was near the Great Lakes.
I can say I'm gonna give it to.
I'm gonna say in terms of the water difficulty.
Yeah. So Emil, I'm gonna give you the fact that you can probably find them like out of all the boats that are in there, you could probably find one that's relatively fast. So you should be able to get to Japan before you run out of time, but you're gonna be like getting to Japan pretty straight there, and you're gonna have to then worry about like where you're going to stay once you get there, kind of thing. You won't have a lot of time to decide at that point in time, but you should be able to get there in time. Other option is find a place to stay in Busan, leave right away in the evening. Both work. The vehicle you found doesn't seem to be active, seems to be one that's just being kept in the marina during the lockdown. Definitely one that will get you there. The checks required to cast, it'd be someone has to make a dexterity check because no one has the boating skill. It'll be 7 because you're defaulting without the skill. Same with a wits check, also 7 because you're not... Actually, I'll make the wits 6. Most modern vessels, it's relatively easy to navigate on, but I'm putting it would have been 5, I'm putting up to 6, so it's like kind of like an easy one to do. It's just that, like, you know, boating is a little difficult because it is kind of controlling a little bit of speed and, like, you know, getting it under control. So those will be the 2 checks you have to run. 1 difficulty 7 check, 1 difficulty 6 wits check. I will need either the same person to roll both or one person to roll each.
Who's good at wits?
I will also have to make that decision if you're going to, like... Okay, so Dawn's taking the navigation. And were you staying the night in Busan, or were you going straight there right away?
That was the dex roll, not the navigation.
That was the dex.
Yeah.
So now I need someone to navigate.
What was it, wits?
It is
I have 3 in wit.
I have 3 in wits.
I also have 3 in
2
wits.
Well, I mean, Dawn could try it herself.
You know what? Do it. Whenever we need to know where to go, ask
Dawn
Dawn.
always knows. Dawn always knows.
Dawn always knows.
Someone's keeping it at 6.
It's at 6, yes.
Okay. Fuck. Dawn is lost for the first time. Dawn has been lost at sea.
Yeah, Dawn doesn't know. Dawn doesn't really know where she's going.
Can
take a look at the GPS and be like, hey, wait a minute.
You can see if she's doing well or not. As I said, one person can
That
attempt to
fucking
assist.
One. That
Alright.
one is
I'm
mocking.
gonna assist, and since I have full willpower, I'm just gonna burn a willpower on it.
Yeah,
That
sounds
would've
good.
Been a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Dawn had already used her willpower, and she only gets one back per session. So
You know what? Never mind.
Yeah.
I already used it, but you know.
Leslie's just like, as Dawn's like trying to navigate, Leslie's there just to make sure and just notices that she's not doing very well and manages to get you, not only do you get her back on track, you figure out a way to cut down the trip a little bit. So rather than going directly to one of the cities, you're just going for the coastline almost, you know, and you can find a place in the coastline where you guys can maybe go ashore. You'll have to worry about where to stay if you do that, but you'll be at least on land and not in the open, and maybe being in like natural areas.
I'd like to note that aside from the one time with the Shadow Demon, every time I've burnt a willpower, I just get a stupid amount of successes anyway.
So you can find your way back to Japan, and you know, by that point in time, with Leslie's cut down, you should be able to find something all right. You basically it'll
Also,
take you a little while,
it
but
takes 12 hours to go from Busan to
I looked it up. From Fuka to Busan takes 6 hours or 12 hours overnight, but there is also like a 3-hour jet boat that takes it. So I was assuming like here it's like the jet ferry runs 16 times per week and has a duration of 3 hours 5 minutes. So it's like a high speed ferry.
Okay. So
I'm
you get a
assuming
high
you were
speed-
somewhere in between, so it took about like 4 hours. But rather than going directly to Fukuoka, you went to somewhere that was just on the shoreline a little closer. So we're saying it took you like 3 hours to cross. You found like Busan's pretty close. You took the shortest route as possible. And remember, I said you found, because I just gave it to you, that you found a pretty fast ship.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, recommendation of here's what I'm going to suggest.
Mm-hmm.
We all get off, or you all get off. I take the boat out to the middle of the water a little bit ways out, punch a hole in the bottom, and swim back to shore.
Yeah.
No prince, no crime.
Are we on mainland Japan or one of the small islands?
Let's take a look at world maps here.
There's Iki Island, which is a little bit
You
closer.
could
We
probably
might still need that boat.
Yeah. What you probably did is, you could probably
Well, I mean,
get.
if we were going to Fukuoka,
I think what you'd be doing is
Fukuoka.
like it looks like it's a little shorter. Like if I'm measuring to go a little farther north of Kitakyushu, and
Okay.
like near Nagato. There is not a lot on that road there. It's out in the wilderness is the only thing. But like you could arrive in that amount of time at like Tsunoshima.
Okay, so we don't
Or,
still need
like,
a boat.
Yeah, you probably don't need a moot because that's part of the main island. You're on the main island then. But like if I'm looking at it, like Fukua is like a little farther than going straight there, you know. And as I said, you were in a high-speed boat, so you cut down to 3 hours. It's just the problem that you're gonna be approximately like 15 miles from Nagato. It's not a difficult walk, but you're arriving maybe only a couple hours before dawn. If I'm looking on here,
Wait, did she take a second boat?
actually, no. What you probably did is
This joke will never get old,
Yeah.
right?
what you probably did is you landed at Tsunoshima because it's a bridge that connects them. So you actually landed on Tsunoshima, that small island that is up near Nagato. Because that's probably like, and the thing is, you're not like following a lot of routes and stuff. So you can stay on. There is like a settlement on Tsunoshima. Tsunoshima. inn?
There's also a lighthouse. I don't know if.
I mean,
it's
there's a
still-
place to stay there. There's an inn.
You
could
can
probably-
hang out in a lighthouse.
Yeah, there's an actual.
Lighthouse
It's like next to me.
Sunishima
lighthouse is bad for
Ryokan is an actual place to stay. Yeah.
Sweet.
So, yeah,
Oh no.
cool.
Well,
And Japan hasn't fully shut down.
No, because it wasn't until August that they started really doing that. And you just have to like,
do you
find.
happen to speak Japanese?
No.
All right.
I spent much time in America before our clan's exile, when many of us were called in together to head to Korea. I was not with the first wave that entered there, but since our agreement allowed many to hide there, I was in one of the later groups to arrive. One of the last.
Leslie pulls out his phone. Well, I've been learning a bit more about these smartphones, and there's apparently a Google Translate.
Yes, Emil's used that many times. It's still, how do I say, not perfect.
All it needs to do is get us a room.
I mean, they've gotten in there. It's a place you can stay. You might have to, like, set up something to keep the light out or something and keep them, like, separate. Or you could just try to find a place like the lighthouse or something that you could just hide in the base of or something and hope for the best.
Does the lighthouse appear to be in use?
Automated.
Or...
Probably more automated nowadays. I think
I
most
didn't even know
lighthouses do.
lighthouses still existed.
They do.
Oh, yeah.
Like in terms, well, okay, wrong wording. It not existed, but like, never mind.
They're still in use, like a lot.
Huh?
It's technically open to the public now, so it's more of a touristy thing. So that's what you have to worry about.
So really all we'd have to do is make sure we were in and out of the touristy areas for the most part.
Yeah. Not the easiest, but possible. If you wanted to hang out at the lighthouse. There's the inn, there's the lighthouse, it's a small island, there's not a lot of less other stuff. I mean, like, that's the best thing I could say for, like, really easy places.
Does Japan have a lot of caves by any chance?
They got some. They might have some on the... It's a very mountainy, like, rugged terrain, so they might have some, like, ocean caves and stuff like that, or, like, partial caves.
Well,
Last time we hung out in a cave, I was cuddling a crocodile.
Forgot
true.
about that.
And I stole a giant rock.
I mean, I can sleep just about anywhere.
The crocodile helped me out because I stayed awake or woke up or something because something happened. Oh, helicopters!
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
we've got a couple of hours. Perhaps Leslie and I could investigate the lighthouse, and Dawn and Emil could search for a likely cave.
Good plan.
Who's searching for a cave? Whoever's searching for a cave, give me like a... perception survival, we'll say.
Well, that's actually a pretty good roll for me.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Nice.
Well, it's average, but difficulty 6.
For looking for a random cave on an island that's pretty small, I'm going to say difficulty 8. Because you not just want any cave, you want a cave that's probably away from tourists and probably one that's just not used in something natural. And
Wow.
no.
Wow,
1 and 8.
it's the
Daggum.
ones!
Yep.
Who else was checking with Emil if someone else...
It was me.
Alright, Dawn. Let's see if Dawn can have a perception survival. Do you have any ranks in survival?
Yes, actually.
Okay, then it's still difficulty 8, because if you don't have ranks in it, it goes up in by 1 difficulty to do something.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, it's because you're defaulting.
Yeah.
Dawn always knows the way!
Dawn always knows the way!
But C is bad.
Yeah, like Dawn's
Emil
like,
finds a cave, and Dawn goes, "Hey, did you see this part in the back?"
yeah. Like Emil has trouble like finding anything, like, and Dawn's like, like Emil's checking around the coastline. Dawn's checking up a little bit into like more of the natural areas, and manages to find a relatively decent sized cave. Nothing kind of like really fancy, but enough that probably the lot of you can hide. It looks as though it's maybe like a teenage makeout spot, so probably teenagers won't show up until during the evening if they show up, or night.
And honestly, if they do show up, and they go into the back
Free
area,
food.
Nom nom nom.
Free food indeed.
actually, possibly for 3 of us,
Yes.
less so for Dawn. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I just need some help.
I just need some help. Can you please help me eat, please?
You know what? Never mind. I'm not asking that question. Just Nathan in a cave and paying for sources.
it's like you wake up and you're like, and people's like, "Hey, dude, you okay?"
I will be if you'll have sex with me for money.
Sure,
Look at
weird
my
Western
outfit, you
dude.
can see that I'm desperate.
Sure, weird Western dude.
Do you
Oh.
take cards?
Do you take cards?
I think PayPal.
I think that's
No,
probably
that new weird like little inch square thing that you just like plug into your phone. I don't remember what it's called.
yeah.
Oh my god.
So I think that's a good place to leave. You're back in Japan. You have a new person with you. You found a nice cave to stay in for the day. And you both stole and sunk a boat.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't
I
us.
imagine
There's no proof. It wasn't us.
If everyone had beaten hearts, they would all be having heart attacks while no one's driving there.
Look, we're probably never going back to Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not
What?
sure the U.S. has an extradition treaty with Korea.
For
for
boat
at
theft?
least several decades.
Mm-hmm. Same with Germany.
I don't know why you guys are talking about that we'd get extra. We didn't do anything.
There's no fingerprints and
We
just
were
a sunken
there, that
boat.
was enough.
Yeah. But
Right.
yeah, I think it's a good point to leave it because you're probably going to very quickly end your Japanese adventures and head somewhere next. Where's your next plan? Are you going to drop off Raita? Are you going to keep her somewhere else until you go back to Cairo? What's your plan? Just so I know ahead of time.
I feel like we should drop her off because I don't want her
Well-
to get murdered.
I mean, we can ask if she wants to come to the Caribbean with us.
That's true. She might like the vacation. They've been living, nowhere. They've been hidden. She might want to see the world.
But then your Caribbean's
the-
your next plan after this?
My only concern is we don't know her gen. We don't know how much blood she has and how long exactly she's good for.
That is why I would ask her.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, like, never mind.
So, if I'm correct, all we need left is Baron Samedi in the Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
Lamia, who are near or around Cairo,
Mm-hmm.
Unri, who's in Golgotha, which is in the Egyptian desert, near-ish to Cairo,
Mhm.
and Khurshid, which Beckett knows where he is, and we're waiting on hearing back from Beckett.
Yes.
So, the only place we know left to go other than Cairo is Baron Samedi in the Caribbean.
And I will let you know that I was planning on hitting you up with the information from Beckett probably next episode, so
Woo!
yes.
Hmm.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, let me
So
see.
you got some Mai Tais.
Nagaraja, let's see here. If 4th gen is 10, or if 12th gen is 9, if 3rd gen is 10, 5th, 6th. 6th gen is the oldest Nagarajas.
Okay.
So that's the oldest generation of Nagaraja. Just by using one of their original power that they had, which was eventually then revised its own thing, but in V20 was then merged as just a subgroup of necromancy, because necromancy has all those subgroups.
Jeez, we're not protecting her. She's protecting us.
But that
She's
you don't
2
know
gens above me.
You do not know if she's that old, though. That is the
yeah.
oldest of the Nagaraja. She's probably younger than that, but whatever she is, she might be similar to you. She might be around your guys' generation, I would say. More than likely, there aren't a lot of really low generation Nagaraja, so like 6 to 10 is kind of where you kind of feel like they'd be at. So she's probably going to be around yours. Maybe a little old, maybe a little more powerful generation, maybe in between you two guys. You don't know for sure, though.
I thought you were 8th or 7th as well.
I'm something.
What's your max blood pool?
14.
Okay, yeah, I think you're like 7th.
Anyway.
I think I'm 8.
Yeah, I think 8's where that is at. Anyway, we'll leave it here. Where you've safely gotten back to Japan, found a place to rest, and then we'll worry about the next leg of the journey next time, actually. Looks like it'll be time to do that. We've finally finished up our Asian adventures. Korea was so much easier than Japan.
Honestly, yeah.
We got him, we got out, we only got the police called on us once.
I mean...
And honestly, they were even called on Emil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bat in the building! Where the hell is there a bat in the building? Where the hell did it come from?
How did that door get open?
How did that door get open? Then the bat flew in? What's going on?
Hey, I supplied the distraction for you all to get inside.
Yes.
It's true.
Yes. All right.
Anyway, let's go around, have people give shout-outs of where to find them, and then we can end it. We'll start with, we'll start with Carpe.
I'm the CarpeDM. You can find me pretty much anywhere at the Carpe. That's C-A-R-P-E, for those who think my name is Carp. And DM.
What?
DM because I like puns and Latin.
Well, has
But not Latin
anybody
enough to spell it correctly.
thought your name was Carp?
Yes.
Oh boy, that's
Yes.
Good old cop.
And we'll
Yep.
go to Worm.
I love playing vampires with my good friend Carp.
Okay, I'll be honest. When I first met him, I also thought it was Carp.
Sus.
But thankfully someone else said it before I did, so I learned it's Carpe.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Anyway, I'm Diamondwyrm. You can find me on twitch.tv/Diamondwyrm and @Diamondwyrm on Twitter. I stream on Fridays for the most part right now, and here I'm on Candace's channel
Cool.
on Tuesdays.
Umber.
Twitch.tv/UmberSkies, streaming whenever I feel like it. Currently working for Sekiro. There's either going to be a stream tomorrow or the day after, and it should be finishing it, and then after that it's going to be ODST campaign with a friend of mine.
Finally, last but not least, Jess.
I am Bubblegum Viking, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Oh, someone's movie night on Saturday, which is fun. So there we go.
Make many of the movies. Or watch many of the movies. And as usual, I'm Dracovin. You can find me here most days. If you're looking for RPG stuff, it's on Thursdays, Children of Wrath, the D&D meets Magic the Gathering game at 8 p.m. We also do Discussing Tabletop at 2 p.m. on Saturdays. That's a tabletop discussion show. I talk about a lot of RPGs there. Grinding Gears on Saturday at 7. That's a Dark Matter game where we're normal D&D characters in Dark Matter world. It works okay. It was an interesting idea. That's definitely what I have to say about it. And we're pretty close to the end of that one. It's a fun one for, like, the craziness sometimes that's in it. Then on Tuesdays, earlier in the day, was Records of Evil, which if you missed that one, you should check it out. That's at 10 a.m. That's a lawful evil D&D game set in modern-day Faerun. Of course, there's this game every week at 2 p.m. EST, where they do on crazy vampire adventures, and probably next week they're heading to the Caribbean. Probably Haiti. We'll say Haiti. Haiti sounds about right for, like, someone named Baron Samedi who probably has, like, Caribbean ties, you know?
I like it.
I hope no one Hades it.
Yes. That's a good one.
Anyway,
video game stuff Friday at 8 with Worm, and I might do some other stuff lately. I'm planning on coming back to some things that maybe after my vacation, which is in 2 weeks. But anyway, bye everyone. Very well.